So one other skill that's very useful that you should have learned in previous math classes is being able to convert from a fraction to a decimal and converting from a decimal to a percentage, and also the other directions, percent to a decimal, decimal to fraction. We're going to go ahead and do this, just kind of a reminder, just a refresher to help you figure this out. So to convert from a fraction to a decimal, you just divide the number in the numerator by the denominator. Not a hard thing to do. Don't make that hard. But to convert from a decimal to a fraction is a little bit more work. So we need to look how we do that. And the way we do that is that you actually think of it as you're going to put the number without the decimal point over top of a power of 10, 10 to a certain power, depending on how many decimal places there are. So we'll do examples of this. Trying to write this out is really difficult, but you're basically going to put the number part without the decimal point over top of, in the numerator, you can put it over top of 10 to a power. The power says how many decimal places do you have. To convert to a percentage, you're going to move the decimal place 2 places to the right and add the decimal symbol. To convert a percent to a decimal, you're going to move the decimal place 2 places to the left and remove the percent symbol. So we're going to go ahead and do some of these. Just make sure you can remember how to do these. We're going to complete the missing parts of the table, round to 3 decimal places as needed, and then simplify all fractions. So here's what we have. We have a fraction of 5/8. I want to make that into a decimal and then into a percent. So I'm going to go ahead and do 5 divided by 8. And that's all I have to do is just take 5 and divide it by 8. And I get 0.625. That already is 3 decimal places. I don't need to do anything more. It stops at that point, so we're done. I want to make this into a percent. So again, what you do is you're going to move the decimal place 2 decimal places to the right. So instead of being 62.625, you can take the 2 decimal places, so you can get 62.5, and then add the percent symbol. Now let's move down to the next one. We have the decimal point 0.225. I want to convert that to a fraction and to a percent. It's a lot easier to go to percent, so let's do that first. Again, you just move the decimal place 2 places to the right. So instead of being 0.225, it's being 22.5, and then add in the percent symbol. Now we have to figure out how to make it into a fraction. So what I'm going to do is not worry about the decimal. I'm just going to write the 225 without any decimal point in it. I'm going to put it off of 10 to a certain power. And the power has to do with how many decimal places are. There's 1, 2, 3. So this would be 10 to the third. 10 to the third is 1,000. And then all we'll do is just make sure we don't have any common terms. So just figure out what if you have any common terms. In fact, you do. 25 goes into 225 9 times, and 25 goes into 1,000 40 times. So that's in its nice reduced form. The next one is 35%. I would like this into a decimal and a fraction. To go to a decimal, you just move the decimal place 2 places to the left. So instead of being 35, it's now 0.35. The percent symbol is gone. Now that I've done that, I can go into my fraction. So I have 35. Again, don't worry about the decimal point, just get rid of it. And I've got 10 to the second power because I have 2 10s. I have 2 spaces, I should say. So you can have 25 divided by, 35 divided by 100. That will reduce. 7 is common to the top, which gives, 5 is common to the top, which gives you 7. 5 is common to the bottom, which gives you 20. So 7 divided by 20. The next one is the number 2.6. Again, I'll do the percent first. If I write this again, I'm going to move the decimal places 2 places to the right. So it's gives me 260%. So one thing I do want to point out about this is that you can get percentages that are above 100%. It's not normally what we see, but it can happen. So don't discredit it just because it does. The last one is 4/11. So I want to take that fraction and make it into a decimal. So just take 4 divided by 11 on my calculator. That would be 0.363636, repeating forever. We want it to 3 decimal places, so we're going to take 0.36. The next number is 3, but the one after that is a 6. So using our conventional rounding, we'd round that to a 4. And now the next thing to do is make this into a percent. So again, move your decimal place 2 places to the right. So 36.4%.